Arsenal's new superstar. 2 games, 2 goals, and that finish genuinely is different level. It doesn't matter if you're 25, 26, 28 in your prime. This kid's 18. He's 18 and he genuinely looks one hell of a player. And look, not the most exciting of games for me tonight, but Arsenal went out there and let's be honest, absolutely battered Preston. Battered them from minute 1 to minute 90. I think in the first 20 minutes, I think Preston had something like 9% possession, which is absolutely insane. Lots of goals tonight. Villa knocked out, Chelsea knocked out, Man United spanked Leicester, and Arsenal got the job done convincingly against Preston. Make sure you go down, drop a like on the video if you haven't already. Make sure you have subscribed to the channel. 88% of everyone who's watched the channel in the last 28 days is not subscribed. So go down, hit that subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts on this game. We'll start with the lineup. Of course, there was no David Raya. There was no Bukayo Saka until the second half. There was no Kai Havertz until the second half. A back four with that Gabriel Saliba, of course. I thought he would start, knowing the fact that he, didn't play, against Liverpool, was sent off against Bournemouth. Relatively strong back four, not the strongest for Arsenal. Kivior with a couple of assists, Zinchenko back in the team, Timber in the team, Marino in the team, Jorginho given a bit of a rare start, hasn't started for Arsenal in a few games. Nwaneri, really, really good tonight. Gabriel Jesus as well with a goal and an assist, Martinelli and Raheem Sterling. And I genuinely think that this Arsenal side, if Manchester City or Spurs go out, or one of those is going out later on tonight, Liverpool won. If City go out, I think Arsenal would fancy their chances to win this. They've played really well in the cup so far. 5 goals against Bolton, 3 goals again tonight. It doesn't matter who you're playing. You can only play what's in front of you. You look at Chelsea tonight, they went out. Villa went out at home to Palace. So this team, they had a relatively strong bench. They took some insurance with them. And I always rate that in a manager. The likes of Bukayo Saka, the likes of Aiden, is it Haven or Haven pronounced? Come on, of course, Havertz, Party. A lot of insurance on the bench. And it was a really strong start from Arsenal. They kept the ball flowing as you would expect up against a Preston. They go 1-0 up around the 24th minute. Kivior into Jesus makes it 1-0. And as soon as they got their goal, I thought, well, that's that. That is game over. Move on, to the... I felt like just kind of saying, move on to the next fixture. No disrespect to Preston, but Arsenal so far have comfortably dispatched these lesser teams. And as myself as a Spurs fan, I've seen this a number of times with my club where we've played the Sheffield Uniteds, the Evertons, the Norwich, the Southamptons, the Colchester Uniteds, where you don't necessarily, you kind of go into the game overconfident and, you slip up. But tonight, fair play. Arsenal got the job done. Really impressed with Kivior tonight. But I tell you what, when you talk about talent, Ethan Nwaneri, I thought he was 18, 17 years of age. He's 18 next March. 2 games, 3 goals. I thought it was 2 games, 2 goals. It's actually 3 goals. What a finish that is. That finish is an absolute joke. The keeper doesn't even move. He doesn't even dive for it. He doesn't have a clue what's coming his way. That finish is absolutely phenomenal. It doesn't matter if that's Harry Kane, Erling Haaland taking that. That finish is phenomenal. Left foot, whips it with pace, top bins. And the question mark now is, when does he get a start in the Premier League? Because you look at the fixtures Arsenal have got coming up, right? Newcastle United away, Inter Milan away, Chelsea away are their next 3 games. And Ethan Nwaneri is the youngest player to score in each of his first 2 starts as an Arsenal player. If you're Mikel Arteta, you've got to be thinking, wow, he's giving me a bit of a headache, because at this moment in time, with Martin Odegaard being out and Arsenal to a degree struggling with creativity in some games, I think Nwaneri now deserves a start. He got 2 goals against Bolton, really, really good again tonight, and he can show that he's got that individual quality. And that, the strike is absolutely ridiculous. It is phenomenal. Genuinely looks a real talent. It'd be interesting to see if he does get, more game time over at Newcastle United away at the weekend. That's not going to be an easy game. Of course, they won tonight. Newcastle are a funny team. They're going to set up to counter-attack with Isak, with Gordon. However, I think Arsenal have got more than enough to go out there. And I think that was the fixture last year, which Arsenal did in fact lose. So they'll have that in the back of their mind. I think they'll go out and get the 3 points though. And then Kivior puts in a delightful ball around the 57th, 58th minute, something like that. And it's a bullet header from Kai Havertz. It's an absolute bullet header. Keeper has got no chance in a million years getting his hand anywhere near that. It's a really strong header. It's a really strong performance from Arsenal. And like I said, if Manchester City go out, they have got to fancy their chances. They have got to fancy their chances at this competition. The third round comfortably spanked Bolton 5-1. The fourth round comfortably spanked Preston 3-0. And all it takes is a relatively comfortable draw. If Arsenal get a Southampton at home, or a Brighton at home, or even a Crystal Palace at home, they kind of fancy their chances. The football they're playing in the cup competition, it seems like they're taking this incredibly seriously. We've seen this before, where teams in the past have played weaker oppositions. Like, I saw the Manchester City lineup earlier, starting Riley, starting a number of young players, and it almost felt like Spurs were just going to run away with that game. Arsenal have kind of done that, but have put in professional performances in so far. I really think they've got a strong chance of going out and winning that. And Arsenal should want to go and win it. No silverware in 4 seasons. Have to go out there. I said this season, Mikel Arteta has got to bring back some silverware. Whether that's the League Cup, whether it's the FA Cup, whether it's Champions League or Premier League. Obviously, the Premier League and Champions League, every Arsenal fan would want to win. But, even if it's the FA Cup, even if it's the League Cup, just bringing back some silverware into that football club, bringing a winning mentality around that dressing room, is kind of what Arsenal want and need this season, in my opinion. There has been a couple of cup shocks tonight, with, of course, Chelsea and Newcastle going out. Like I said, a favourable draw, and all of a sudden, they are right in there for me, for one of the favourites for this competition. Let me know your thoughts down below. Of course, the one talking point which I did see was getting a lot of traction on Twitter is, why did Mikel Arteta bring on Bukayo Saka around the 62nd, 63rd minute? And that's an interesting one for me, because I feel right now, if I'm the manager, I would be wrapping up Bukayo Saka in cotton wool. I would be really thinking about, it's a long season, we're 3-0 up. Do we need to potentially risk an injury for him? Tottenham's first half, we lost Van de Ven. Absolute gut punch for us. If Bukayo Saka would have gone on and got injured, it would have been an absolute game changer for Arsenal. But at the same time, people could argue, it's good to bring a player on when you're winning, keep that confidence building high. Is it necessarily worth the risk? I don't know. That is the only thing I would say, is I don't necessarily know if Bukayo Saka needed to come on for Martinelli. Martinelli has been good in the last few games, but could still use a goal or two. Raheem Sterling could definitely use a goal or two at the moment. His last goal was actually in this cup competition against Bolton. But look, it's a comfortable performance. You're through to the next round. Arsenal fans should be happy Nwaneri looks an incredible talent. You look at the match stats, 75% possession, 18 shots on target against 10. Complete and utter domination from Arsenal's perspective. 718 passes with a 92% passing accuracy. Yes, you're up against a championship club. Yes, they're struggling in the championship. However, it's a cup competition. And we all know the magic of these cups. Anything can happen. Really strong performance. A number of yellow cards for Preston there in 4. They should be relatively happy with that performance. I know Arteta is a bit of a perfectionist, so he'll probably be thinking, why didn't we get a 5th? Why don't we get a 4th or a 5th? Sorry. But look, I'll be honest. I think Arsenal should be looking to win this competition. If they can, obviously the Premier League and Champions League, like I said, they'll be on cloud 9, but this should be the bare minimum for me this season. Arsenal have to go out there, bring some silverware back. Enzo Maresca's looking good at Chelsea. He's gone out. Unai Emery's looking good at, of course, Aston Villa. He's gone out. If Guardiola goes out as well, if they can avoid a Liverpool and get a comfortable fixture, and let's say Liverpool get a Man United, all of a sudden it massively, massively opens up the draw. It just takes a couple of decent games, and all of a sudden you're in the final. I've seen this before. Of course, Aston Villa and Man City got to the final a number of years ago. We got to the final against City, and I think we played Brentford in the semi-final. We played Stoke in the quarter-final, and I think we beat Chelsea on penalty shootout. So look, obviously this year the Premier League teams have really done well. Liverpool have got through, Man United have got through, but there's still a couple of favourable fixtures that Arsenal could get in this game. In this draw. Let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like. Make sure you have subscribed. The road to 30,000 is well and truly on. And I will see you all in the next one. Thank you for watching. I am